like something is brewing and about to begin. Can't put me finger on what lies in store, but I feel what's to have been all I've been before. A father, a mother, a daughter, a son. The threads of their lives all raveling undone. Something is needed to twist them aside, as a string you might use when you're flying high. Chim chimney, chim chim, chirpy chim chop choo.
Run! Come back here, you little blighter! You've got to do the lesson! Well, we can't do a lesson, so we're flying a kite. And you can't make us your enemy on that.
Morning, Miss Lack. And how's little Willoughby today?
Oh, very well, thank you.
Is that the beauty's Miss Lark is flying on the horizon?
Oh, Admiral.
Morning, Admiral. How's it looking?
Of all London's byways where I dock me cab, this one's the hardest to find on a map. Cherry Tree Lane, as sweet as a song, but the nannies who come here, they don't stay for long. Chim chimney, chim chim, chirpy chim chiroo.
What on earth am I to say to Mr. Banks? George, dear, I'm feeling so bereft, dear. Another nap is left, dear. Every nanny goes, we're unlucky, I suppose. We are never going to find the perfect nanny.
Nonsense! Precision and order, that's all that I ask. The running of a household, a straightforward task. The children, the servants, they're on your domain. For I made the sovereign of Cherry Tree Lane. Now the simple truth is, you've engaged in over 6 nannies in the last 4 months, and they have been all unqualified disasters. A nanny should govern, a nanny should rule. A nanny is a paragon who suffers no fool. A nanny's a stalwart our children would gain from having such a nanny in Cherry Tree Lane. So take control of situations, show your authority when interviewing staff. They know your role, they know the stations. Efficiency and forethought cut the jobs in half. Briefcase.
I thought Katie Nana would be firm with the children. She always looks so cross.
Winifred would never confuse efficiency with a liver complaint.
If only we had your old nanny.
I'm afraid that's not realistic, my dear. Few men alive can manage Miss Andrews' standard of efficiency. Besides, we can never afford someone of her caliber. Umbrella.
Yes, and we're in the mess. No wonder the nannies are driven insane. They're living in a mess in Cherry Tree Lane.
Now, Winifred, if you do wish to please me.
You know I do, George.
Very well, then place the advertisement in the Times stating that Jane and Michael Banks require the best possible nanny at the lowest possible wage.
We better give them ours before they make another mistake.
I would stress.
Father, what's that you're holding, dear? We've written out every advertisement.
What on earth?
George, please, I think we should hear it. Wanted, a nanny for 2 adorable children.
Adorable. Well, that's debatable, I must say.
If you want this choice position, have a cheery disposition, rosy cheeks, no more.
That's what I pretend.
Play games, all sorts. You must be kind, you must be witty, very sweet and very pretty.
Well, of all the ridiculous...
George, please. Take us on outings, give us treats.
Sing songs, bring sweets. Never be false or cruel. Never feed us castor oil or gruel. Ugh.
Give us the sun and gold land.
And never smell of holy water. I put that bit in too.
If you export and dominate us, we will never give you cause to hate us. We won't have a spectacle so you can see
The toads in your bed or pepper in your tea.
Hurry, nanny, nanny thanks sincerely. Jane
And Michael Banks.
That is quite enough to cover off one day. Would you please go upstairs and let me get to work?
George, they were only trying to help.
It won't help anyone to make me late. Where's my hat?
George, dear,
Hat!
I thought you put it down here.
Hat!
I'm sure a bowler hat can't simply disappear. Ah, there it is.
He's brushing with boot polish. Precision and order, that's all that I ask. The running of our household, a straightforward task. The children, the servants, they're on your domain. Whilst I remain the sovereign, mind you use the day well.
You made the sovereign.
I shall be home at 6 o'clock sharp.
Made the sovereign.
Up to
Good morning.
Yes?
I've come in answer to the advertisement.
What advertisements? We haven't placed any advertisements.
George and Winifred Banks live here, do they not?
Mr. and Mrs. Banks live here, yes.
And you are looking for a nanny?
Well, I suppose.
Very well then. Now, let's see. Play games of all sorts, which I most certainly can. Take us on outings, give us treats. Michael's advertisement! Rosy cheeks and fairly pretty. There's no objection on that score, I hope.
Oh. Not at all.
I'm glad to hear it.
But, oh, take it up with Mrs. Banks. She manages all that side of things. Nothing domestic has anything to do with me. And don't forget the references.
Oh, I make it a rule never to give references. But I thought it was the usual. A very old-fashioned idea to my mind. The best people never require them now.
I see. Well, you'll have every third Thursday evening off from 5 until 9.
The best people give every second Wednesday from 6 till 8, ma'am, and that is what I shall take.
I see.
Well, it's all settled then, as long as I'm satisfied. I'll see the children now, thank you.
Of course. You'll find them very nice children.
Now this is... Mary Poppins. Jane, don't stare. And close your mouth, Michael, we are not a codfish. Best foot forward, spit swat.
Mrs. Brill, we have a new nanny. She passed an interview then.
Or I did.
Very tidy, I must say. Tidier than I was expecting. And who's responsible for that? Mrs. Brown.
Me? I am. I like to keep things neat.
Do you indeed? Well, I look forward to making use of that. If there's one thing I appreciate, it's a child whose word I can depend on. Now, who's she when she's at home?
That's Valentine. She's mine.
By the look on her face, I'm not sure she'd agree with you.
Well, she's just a doll, and I don't want to play with her right now.
Treat her like that, and she won't want to play with you either. Now, first things first. I always say the proper place to hang a hat is on a hat stand.
There's nothing in it. You better keep an eye on this one. She's tricky.
Mary Poppins, how could you know what we wanted in a nanny when we made our list?
Your list? I am not an item in the weekly shop, thank you very much.
Well, how did you come in then? It was as if the wind just blew you here.
It did. Now, stand over there. Just as I thought. A noisy, mischievous, troublesome little boy.
You're making that up. Let me see. A noisy, mischievous, troublesome.
Now you. Thoughtless, short-tempered, and untidy.
You're making that up.
Why the time the winters go, the weather vane around, I'll show you if I can. No matter of the circumstance, for one thing I'm renowned, my character is fixed once thick and square.
What's your measurement, Mary Poppins?
I'm practically perfect in every way.
Practically perfect.
So people say, each virtue virtually knows no bound. Each trait is great and patently sound. I'm practically perfect from head to toe. If I had a fault, it would never dare to show. I'm so practically perfect in every way. Both prim and proper and never too stern. Well educated, yet willing to learn. I'm clean and honest, my manner refined, and I wear shoes of the sensible kind. I suffer no nonsense practically perfect, that's my forte. Uncanny nannies are hard to find. Unique yet unspeakably kind. Practically perfect, not slightly soiled. Running like an engine that's just been freshly oiled. I'm so practically perfect in every way. Well, those are my credentials. Perhaps you have a few questions.
Not temperamental, never quirky or gruff.
The very thought.
Do you stay tender when the going gets tough?
Quite the contrary.
Do you read stories without having fun? I have advertised to play with us.
Oh, I like games, but I choose them. But that's not fair. Some minor improvements may not go amiss, but at all times you must remember this. You're practically perfect
In every way,
I guarantee.
practically perfect. We hope you'll stay around.
Each virtue virtually knows no bounds.
He's pretty straight and passively sound.
Partridge with sound. Spit swap, Jane, Joyce House, please. That's my telescope, thank you.
But it's just not there.
I didn't say I was fair. I said I was practically perfect. And here's my aim. By the time I leave here, you both will be the same. You'll be practically perfect. Practically perfect. We will be practically perfect in every way. Nice performance. Spit swap.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. I does what I likes and I likes what I do. Today I'm a screever, and as you can see, a screever's in artist of highest degree, and it's all me own work from me own memory.
What's this? What's this? You're allowed to live here?
Come on, Mr. Parkkeeper. It's just me pictures like it always is. There's no harm in them.
This is my park, and I say you're interfering with public railing, and I want to remove this. That is. Just you watch it. That's all. Just you watch it.
Stay right there. I'd know that silhouette anywhere. Mary Poppins!
It's nice to see you, Bert.
Well, I must say you do look swell.
How does he know you? He can't know you. You've only just arrived.
I wasn't born 1 minute before I walked into your house, Michael Banks. Have you met these two birds?
I've seen him running about chasing a kite.
It's not a real kite.
So what are you up to?
Mary Poppins says there's a game called A Walk in the Park.
Some game. I'd rather eat spinach.
So, Bert, you're due for a break and you promised you'd take me out again next time we met. Or have you forgotten?
Of course I ain't married, but...
Oh dear, is that all you've got? Well, never mind, it's my treat. And no one's charging for the trees in the sky, are they?
Mary Poppins, is he really coming with us?
Why shouldn't he?
Well, to start off with, he's very dirty, isn't he? Father would never approve.
What's that?
You can't come with us. You're too dirty. And we don't want to go to the stinky park anyway.
Oh, yes you do. Because when you walk with Mary Poppins, you go to places you never dreamed of. And if she says it's a game, she's got something in mind. You can be certain of that.
That's a picture of the park, isn't it?
That is not the park. Look, the tree is a much different green, and the sky is quite a different blue.
I think you'll find it's just the way I've drawn it. All that it takes is a spark. Then something as plain as a park becomes a wonderland. All you have to do is look anew, then you'll understand why. It's a jolly holiday with Mary. Mary makes your heart so light.
Oh, really?
When the day is grey and ordinary, Mary makes the sun shine bright. Oh, happiness is blooming all around her. The daffodils are smiling at the
I have the
dawn.
faintest idea what...
When Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band.
You've got enough brass for all of us.
Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love. Come on, you two.
Boring, just like other daddies thinking parks are good for us. It's just statues, ducks, and grannies. I don't understand all the fuss. Is she doing it to spite us? We could lose it for a look. Perhaps it's all a plot. I'll tell you what. She seems so different, but I bet she's not. There is nothing to excite us in Park. Well, who are you?
I'm Heath. Sure you know that. You sat me in here from that. I've been happy to take a walk on a sunny day like this. It's a glorious day, bright as morning in May. I feel like I can fly.
Across the green or a blue sky.
Oh, it's a jolly holiday, Mary. Better days I've never known.
You can ask the passing statuary. Nothing's ever set in stone.
Morning, Mary.
Morning, Constable.
You look tip-top. Each man up with his dog will stand along to see a statue take a gentle jog. Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we
It's a
love.
jolly holiday with you, Bert. Gentlemen like you are few. Though you're just a diamond in the rough, Bert. Underneath your blood is blue. You can never think of heritage. Forbearance is the hallmark of your fate. A lady needn't fear when you are near. Your sweet gentility is crystal clear. Oh, it's a jolly holiday with you, but a jolly, jolly holiday with you.
Wow, Jane, did that really happen?
Yes, but how?
Mary Poppins, of course.
How do you know Mary Poppins?
She was a friend of my father.
Your father? You can have a father. Your statue.
Well, if that's true, why do I miss him so much?
Isn't he one of the other statues?
No, he lives far away from here.
Well, do you really miss him?
Wouldn't you miss your father if you hardly ever saw him?
I'd have to think about that.
That's it. That's it. That's what it was. The plinth is half empty. The statue's gone. What's that?
You mean you've lost your marbles?
This is your fault, isn't it? Should have ordered you first arrive. I've got a statue missing. What? Oh, lummy.
You will play with us again, won't you?
Of course. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, we'll see you soon. Goodbye, Nelius.
Goodbye.
Nelius must be so lonely. Could his father ever come to stay? Of course. How long will you stay? I'll stay till the wind changes.
Well, you guys better run along in. Good night, Jane. Good night, Michael. Good night, Mary.
Good night, Bert.
them you've given me the message.
George, please. Oh, Daddy's had a fantastic day. We sang with a busted dance with statues and met Queen Victoria.
You wouldn't have a bird.
If you know that, then why did you do it?
Daddy, can I have a kite? A proper one?
Could you fly it?
You could always teach me.
When would I have the time to do that?
Daddy, who is the father of Julius?
Would you please let me get on? Good night.
Poor Michael. All he cares about is flying kites and will love astronomy, of course.
I used to love astronomy at his age. My nanny, Miss Andrews, soon beat it out of me.
I suppose we really do need a nanny, George. It is out of the question to do without one.
Don't be absurd. Of course we need a nanny. All of the best people have nannies. So the wives can do the charity work and entertain. Which reminds me, how's your tea party coming on?
I'm not quite sure. It seems so odd to invite people I hardly know.
But they're people you should know. Remember, by your friends shall you be judged.
That's the point. They're not my friends. Actually, I heard today from Clemmy Bunty. She's rehearsing a new play at the moment, and I thought I might ask her.
How many times must I tell you? I want you to sever all connection with that part of your life.
George, I was an actress. There are lots of people who would find that interesting, but you always talk of it as though I should be ashamed.
It's not exactly something to be proud of. Winifred dearest, I am only thinking of you. I want people to admire you, to respect you.
No, George, sometimes it's hard.
It is not hard. It is your job to be Mrs. Banks.
And what is your job?
To pay for everything. What is it?
I was only going to listen.
Oh, all right. Are you going to say something to Mary Poppins about this afternoon?
I don't think so.
Very well. Just make sure she's doing things our ways, not hers. What good are rules if you can bend them? We need a nanny who is disciplined and stern. With boys and girls, you don't befriend them. I fear that Mary Poppins has a lot to learn.
Meeting Mrs. Banks should be an easy role, and yet it's one which I can seem too good at on the whole. I have come before, I have a simple life, I have a name which tells the world from someone else's mind. Meeting Mrs. Banks, what does that entail? When facing tests of character, I always seem to fail.
what you learn. From me I was taught when I was small. Just learn a trade, so I learned them all. Chim chimney, chim chim, chiree chim chiroo. Welcome next today, I see.
Morning, Admiral. Gotta keep the street ship shape.
Now tell me, how are things aboard number 17? All things gone to marry Poppins, I trust.
There's some rough weather on every voyage, Admiral.
Oh, Miss Locke, what those children need is a tip of the cap and a nap of the yada.
What those children need, Admiral, is a touch of happiness.
Mrs. Brill, don't make the sandwiches too early. They'll get stale before the guests arrive. Everything's under control, Mom. What about the cake? Cooling on the tray, ready to be iced. And you're quite sure you know how to ice it? Quite sure. And in case you're worried, I have not been exchanged by the fairies for a total nincompoop. Oh.
No.
Well, I'll just go check the drawing room.
I'd like to be helpful.
And I like to be rich, with the good Lord felt in the waters.
Mother wants you in the drawing room.
She can't have me. I have enough on my plate as it is already.
She says you can tell Roberts and I what to do.
Does she indeed? Well, why don't I go have a smoke near the gasworks for good measure?
Please, Mrs. Brill, I don't mind, honest.
All right. I'll give you one task and one task only, and so help me if you mess this up. I'll scream for you and sing as they pull the lever.
What is it, Mrs. Brill?
I need you to put the icing tools next to the cake, and I need a bowl of hot water so I can warm them. I'll make the icing as soon as I'm back.
Icing tools, cake, hot water. I will ice the cake as soon as I get back.
Now, do you think you can manage that?
Is that all?
For you, yes. For me, no. Once the icing's done, I have the sandwiches next because Mother wants them fresh. So I can't start them until there's no time to finish them, I swear. A slave in ancient Rome was on a pleasure cruise compared to my life in this house.
Well, don't just stand there, Roberts and I.
Right. No.
What are you looking for?
Bowl full of hot water.
Michael, why don't we make the icing?
Because we don't know how.
Well, don't be so feeble and give me the eggs. Mrs. Brill can do it. It can't be that hard.
The eggs and icing.
They're on mine.
I don't think Mrs. Brill.
Well, then she will be guilty of great ingratitude.
The coach will look like this.
It doesn't look like that when Mrs. Brill does it.
Don't be so impertinent and give me the cake.
Honestly, Miss Jane, I was just trying to help you. If you would have... What? Oh.
Yes.
Mrs. Brill, go up and get ready now and... What have you done? Roberts and I. Should I call a doctor?
Think what that will be necessary, ma'am.
How can you two be so unkind when you know how important my party is? You deserve some very nasty medicine when I get back. Just wait till bedtime.
I don't think we should wait till then, ma'am. Why not go up and get changed? We'll clear up, won't we?
Oh, but I'm not ill. I won't take it, and you can't make me.
That, as in so many things, your information is faulty. Open.
But it's strawberry ice.
You're next.
I'm not sure I like strawberry ice.
I'm not sure I care. Open. My cordial. Now, can Roberts and I clean up when he wakes up. He is a servant.
With that attitude, you'll get through a lot of staff before you're very old. Besides, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun.
You find the fun and snap the jobs again, and every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake. A look, a spring, it's very clear to see that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way.
My point exactly.
The honeybees that fetch the nectar from the flower to the comb never tire of the buzzing to and fro, because they take a little nip from every flower that they sip, and they flavor the task is not a crime, for a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way.
Split swap, sweep up. Michael, is that how you usually do it? Mary Poppins, you're a miracle worker. How did you get them to do it?
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
The medicine go down.
Medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way. Delightful way. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. Medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way. Delightful, in a most
I'm sorry, Mum, but it is due this morning and Robert's time for him. Yes, they're not coming. None of them.
You think we chose the wrong day?
No, I think you invited the wrong people.
An impertinent thing to say. Me putting ideas into other people's heads? Really? Now come along.
financial sense. Through sunshine, our shillings and pence.
Good morning. Have dreams of power and position, and it's our job to back them to their gift. For shrewd investment and advice, they'll pay our price, the bedrock on which banks are built. Banks, a word. I hear Van Hustler's coming in again today. Have you made your decision?
I believe so, sir.
Good, be sure it's the right one.
What objections do you have? My security is more than adequate, and that's what makes an expanding market. What does it matter? Have you no courage?
But Mr. Von Hustler, what I haven't been able to grasp is what exactly is your product?
What do you seek? Money, of course.
Yes, money, but I wonder, making money out of money, is that enough?
Are you man enough to be a banker? A man has dreams of building an empire, to make his name with many distant lands, and in the new world I am told, will soon strike gold, to seize our chance with both our hearts.
Assessing the market, limit the risk, liberal error,
Have you come to a decision, Mr. Banks? Counterfeit people's future depends on you.
I know that.
Give us this chance. You won't regret it. The factory could be running in weeks and expanding before this happens. Please, Mr. Banks, I give it everything I've got. Believe me.
I do believe you, Mr. Northbrook, and I've tried to find a way, but there's just not the collateral.
What about my workforce? Decent men who want a better life. They're my collateral. My men have dreams of... My men have dreams. My men have dreams to earn an honest living. A wife and kids, a home to call their own. If you'd invest in us today, it pays no way. I promise we'd repay the loan.
I'm sorry, Mr. Northbrook, but there's just not the collateral.
Hello, Daddy.
What on earth are you doing here? Can't you see I'm busy?
No, we're done here. And no man should be too busy for his own children. What have you come for here, young man? Have you come for some money as well?
Hardly. What did the money for?
Well, it's never too early to learn its value.
I know the value of this. 6 pence.
No, that's its worth. Its value is in how you spend it. Do good, and may you have good luck.
And what do you say to Mr. Northbrook?
Thank you.
Always outside.
Really, Mary Poppins? I'm not without a sense of humor.
Aren't you, Daddy?
No, I am not. But when I was a little boy, I would never have dared to jump my father.
Were you ever a little boy?
Of course I was. But my nanny kept me out of my father's way until... And he'd be very good if she had.
What about your mother?
I shouldn't think I saw either one of them more than once a week.
Didn't they mind?
Mind, they were glad to be rid of me.
Then, kissed you. Good night, Miss Andrew.
Certainly not. There were no times for hugs and kisses and all that soppy nonsense. What's the matter?
Oh, Daddy.
Paul, what do you mean, Paul? That's what made me the man I am. Eh, Mary Poppins?
Yes, I'm afraid it did.
That's enough. You've seen where I work. I have a great deal to do.
Daddy, when you invest the bank's money, what are you looking for? A good man or a good idea?
I suppose I should say it's a good idea. But a good man is much more rare, much more valuable.
Come along, children.
Mr. Von Hustler, I've considered the arguments and I'm afraid my answer is no.
So you don't recognize a good idea?
No, but I recognize a good man when I see one.
You will regret this, Sir Banks.
All man has dreams that life hasn't broken. A man with hopes, ambitions to fulfill. A man just certain at first glance deserves a chance. Mr. Northbrook, when exactly could the factory be open?
Thank you, sir. You won't regret it. 'Tis 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 'tis
Look, there's that horrible old woman.
Don't point. And for your information, she's not horrible in the least.
But she's just a bundle of wax.
When are you going to learn to look past what you see?
Early each day to the steps of St. Paul's, the little old bird woman comes. In her own special way to the people she calls. Come by my bed full of flowers. Come Jesus, the Lord shall bound you down, and you will be glad if you do. The young ones are hungry, the nestfuls are fed, all it takes is tuppence from you. The birds are back, that's why she cries, while overhead the birds fill the skies. All around the cathedral sings, and the foxes look down, and she shares her bed. Can you see them? They are smiling, each holding someone chose that he cares. Though her words are simple and few, listen, listen, she's calling to you. The birds
Hold on.
You don't say. Well, here she is now. You can tell yourself.
Isn't that this lost dog? It's right when someone's barking, no matter how quiet. You were saying... Oh, did she? Well, it might be best to keep her on a lead if she keeps running off like that. Oh, look, here she comes now. Is that my Willoughby? Oh. It's almost as if they can talk. But can Willoughby really talk?
Of course he can. Getting him to stop is the problem.
Have you learned to talk dog?
That's easy. Master the grammar
Practice when you can.
and avoid mongrels. Far too much slang. Now, I can't stand here all day talking shop.
Talking shop? What a silly expression.
There's nothing silly about it in the least.
Well then, what do you buy in a talking shop?
Conversations, of course.
I've never seen a talking shop.
That's because there's only one, and it belongs to Mrs. Corey.
Who's Mrs. Corey?
Who's Mrs. Corey? Mrs. Corey is older than anyone in the world. She talked to William before he went conquering, to Vlad before he went impaling, and to Alexander when he weren't so great.
We'll have to visit her at her shop in the park.
But there's no shop in the park.
Anything can happen if you let it. Now we must go.
That is it! I have run out of conversations.
Good day to you, Mrs. Corey.
Well, 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 if it isn't Mary Poppins with Jane and Michael Banks.
She knows us.
And how is poor little Georgie? Georgie Banks, your father. He used to give his nanny the slip and come into my shop in your secret.
It could have been a St. George Banks. It would have been 40 years ago, and nobody can remember that far.
Listen, dearie, I remember everything. I remember Georgie used to love my gingerbread. I wonder if we have any left today. Annie, Granny, look lively. There you are. Gingerbread pieces with gingerbread stars. Georgie always saved his stars. Now, Mary Poppins, what can I do for you?
Well, I did want an ounce of conversation.
I am out of conversations, and I'm right out of words too. You see, I've had a lot of chatterbox with you today, but let me see what we have left. Oh, I do have some letters and a little bit of back chat. An ounce, you say? That'll be 15 letters. Go on, take your pick.
Jane, you first. Choose 7. I've got a D, G, R, U, C, L, and I.
But no good. You can't make a conversation out of them.
Michael, you next. 7 more.
I choose an S, F, E, T, O, and P.
And I choose an X. Now, what words can we make out of them? Well, I see dog and cat.
Rattlefix, that's 9.
Lapitophorus, 11. Nearly there.
Those don't count. You made them up.
And where do you think words came from in the first place? Somebody had to make them up.
Now, we can always use the same letter more than once. Supercalifragilistic expialidocious.
That's not a word.
Of course it's a word, and unless I'm very much mistaken, I think it's going to prove a rather useful one. When trying to express oneself, it's frankly quite absurd to leaf through lengthy lexicons to find the perfect word. A little spontaneity keeps conversation keyed. You need to find a way to say precisely what you mean. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always have precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. When Stone Age men were chatting, simply grunting would suffice.
Though if they'd add this word, I'm sure they'd use it once or twice.
I'm sure Egyptian pharaohs expialidocious. I'm to the little, I'm to the line. I'm to the little, I'm to the line. I'm to the little, I'm to the line. I'm to the little, I'm to the line.
It could have carved it on their mighty monoliths.
The ancient Greeks, I'm certain, would have used it in their myths. I'm sure the Roman Empire only entered the abyss because those Latin scholars never had a word like this. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. If you say it softly, the effect can be hypnosis.
Check your breath before you speak in case it's halitosis.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I'm to the little, I'm to the line. I'm to the little, I'm to the line. I'm to the little, I'm to the line. I'm to the little, I'm to the line.
You know, you can say it backwards with a pseudo-cordylipex siligatha-lacrebus.
You know, she may be tricky, but she's bloody good.
So when the cat has got your tongue, there's no need for dismay. Just summon up this word and then you've got a lot to say.
Pick out those 18 consonants and 16 vowels as well, and put them in an order which is very hard to spell.
S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-P-I-A-L-I-D O-C-I-L-U-S
Smarty pants.
S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-P-I-A-L-I-D O-C-I-L-U-S S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-P-I-A-L-I-D O-C-I-L-U-S S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-P-I-A-L-I-D O-C-I-L-U-S
Here we go!
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the second there is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll hear the same notion. Supercalifragilistic, supercalifragilistic, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. S-U-P-E-R-C-A-L-I-D R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-P-I-A-L-I-D O-C-I-L-U-S. Here we go! Goes to Sally, ex-ballistic.
You are to never go near that heirloom but me. That is an heirloom.
Heirloom.
And while I do this, you are to stay totally immobile.
Immobile.
Do not move a muscle.
Muscle.
Do not breathe. Do you understand?
I might as well be dead.
Don't give me any ideas.
The game is played, the change is made, and still the road is long. And though they might, you fly a kite, sometimes the wind's too strong.
George? What's happened? Are you ill?
No. Should I be?
Of course not, only why on earth are you home so early? Is everything all right?
No. Everything's all wrong.
Dear, what is it?
If you must know, I refused some German chapel loan. It seems he went to our chief rivals. They gave him the money, and now it's turned into a gold mine.
Well, they can't expect you to get it right every time, can they?
Can't they? That's exactly what they expect.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough,
That's more than loud enough. Go to your room.
but we were just.
I don't care what you were just upstairs now. Where's my briefcase?
Oh,
It was just here. Michael, Jane, will you give it to me? Must I put up with this behavior? You are their mother. Why can't you do something?
well, I could try not shouting for once.
Mary Poppins, you are here to teach the children manners, and just look at them. They are a pair of little savages. If I had my way, you would all be out of this house for
George,
more.
you're tired. Mary Poppins, don't bring the children down tonight. Mr. Banks is quite exhausted. Perhaps keep them occupied?
I hope you haven't forgotten, ma'am. Tonight's my evening out.
What? I have forgotten. I suppose the best people wouldn't ask you to change your plans.
No, ma'am, they wouldn't.
I thought not. It's not fair. Daddy loses his temper and we're shut up in the nursery. Daddy's mean and rotten and I hate him! Jane, take that back this instant. I will not have you criticize your father.
Why not? He criticizes you. Last week I heard him say you're neither use nor ornament.
How dare you?
You heard him say it, and so did I.
Sometimes people say things they don't mean. Take them upstairs, Mary Poppins, please. George,
What is it now?
I thought you might like to talk about it.
What would be the point?
Perhaps I can help.
Don't be ridiculous.
George, I'm serious. If you have troubles, I'd like to share them.
Don't worry, you will. The fact is, I have been suspended without salary until they decide what to do with me.
Twists and turns, ups and downs. One moment smiles, next moment frowns. But bad tempered faces had better change quick. 'Cause if the wind changes, the face just might stick. Chim chimani chim chim, to reach him the roof.
our own. You've plenty of toys to play with. I don't want to get boring. They might say the same about you.
Why does Daddy get so cross?
Fathers are supposed to look after the children, not yell at them all the time. Maybe, but have you ever thought to yourself who looks after the fathers when things go wrong?
The mothers, I suppose.
Not the children? Wouldn't that be rather upside down? Sometimes families are upside down. For a little while, anyway. Well, I don't want to be an upside-down family. I wish I could run away.
Why don't you? Somebody might talk to you.
You'd miss me.
No, I wouldn't. I could have your toys.
Oh, no, you could not.
Yes, I could, and I jolly well would.
Give that to me. Now look what you've done. That's no way to treat Valentine. What's she ever done to you?
She can do anything silly. She's a doll.
That's all, you two. Into bed at once. But we haven't had There will be no buts and no milk either. If you can't be good, you may as well be sorry. I wish you'd just leave us alone. Be careful what you wish for. Poor Valentine. Go inside and make yourself presentable.
Well, I won't go to sleep, and you can't make me.
In that, as in so many things,
Your information
is faulty. Playing the game, taking your turn. Some children lose, some children learn. Treat the toys nicely and maybe they'll treat you the same. Playing the game. Are you feeling better, Valentine? Much better, thank you. Tempers are frayed, tempers are lost. Nobody stops to think of the cost. But they tore my arm again. Oh dear. Children who lose their tempers will lose everything in the end. They're not playing the game, not playing fair. Not with the dog, not with the bear. Thrown on the floor and let down they got to playing the game. Please tell them, Mary Poppins. Why don't you? What's going on? What happened to the toys?
Make them get small and get back in the box.
Why? You hurt them and called them names. Now it's their turn. Summon the toys. Now is the time to tell of their woes, to tell of your cry. Come one, come all, and tell the friends they need to hear what you have to say.
Make them stop.
They stamp and Well,
You think you know everything.
I couldn't agree more. Jane? There are toys and we can do what we want with them. So there. So there indeed. Playing the game, having a ball. Those who won't play shan't play at all. Well, we need talk, maybe when they've learned to play the game.
the smoke is all billowing curve. Between pavement and stars is the chimney sweeps whirl. Where there's hardly no day, no hardly no night. There's things up in shadow and halfways inside. On the rooftops of London. Woohoo! What a sight!
Hello, Bert. So, you're a chimney sweep now, are you?
Best view in the world, eh? And who gets to see it? The birds, the stars, and the chimney sweeps. Nothing to beat it. Life has been strong. You may think the sweeps on the bottom most wrong. Though I spent me time in the ashes and smoke. In this so wide world, there's no happy blow.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chimney. A sweep is as lucky can be. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. Good luck will rub off when he shakes hands with you.
Oh, blow me a kiss,
Bert.
and that's lucky too. Oh, so you're going then?
The wind has changed.
But they're good kids, Mary.
Would I be bothering with them if they weren't? But I can't help them if they won't let me. And there's no one so hard to teach as the child who knows everything. So they'll have to do the next bit on their own.
Chim chimney, chim chim chiree. When you're with the sweep, you're in glad company.
Goodbye, Bert.
Chim, 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 chiree. When you're with the sweet, you're in glad company. Nowhere is there more happy crew than them that sing chim, chim, chiree, chim, chiroo. Chim, chimney, chim, chim, chiree, chim, chim.
Cheerio, Bert. Keep an eye on them for me.
Left us.
Yes, she's come. She's taken all of our toys.
What does the note say?
Dear Jane and Michael, keep playing the games. Au revoir, Mary Poppins.
What in the name of heaven are you two doing out here? Where's Mary Poppins?
Gone.
Gone? Well, if that doesn't take a blooming biscuit.
Mrs. Brill, what does au revoir mean?
Why?
Because that's what it says at the end of this note. Au revoir, Mary Poppins.
It's French, I know that. Does it mean God bless you or good luck? No, I remember now. It's to meet again. Now come inside before you two catch your death.
Mrs. Brill, is the nursery tidy?
As tidy as I can make it, Mom.
If only you knew how hard it was to track her down.
Oh, really, Mom? You fancy that?
Call the good nannies for a slip in pastime. Now one return to make a fearful fuss. Never liked her much when she was here the last time.
She makes life easier for both of us.
Mrs. Brill, it is her, isn't it?
Well, I don't see why not.
Why is it such a secret?
Do you think that she's returned to get me? Back the way they were. Well, the note does say till we meet again.
It has
this one. Oh, George, I do believe you will be proud of me for once. Precision and order, it's perfectly true. Can really make a difference. I found her for you. Clear thinking, sound judgment, and now you'll regain a home you can be proud of, Cherry Tree Lane. Hurry up, everybody, into the hall. I want her to find everything. Spit, spot, spit, and span. Excitement is hard to contain. Someone is returning. Someone is returning to Cherry Tree Lane. Good morning.
The Holy Terror!
Miss Andrew, it's so lovely to meet you at last. I do hope you had a good journey.
It was thoroughly unpleasant. I never enjoyed travel. You must be poor George's wife. Your flower beds are disgracefully untidy. Take my advice and plant evergreens, or better still, have nothing there at all. It's a plain cement courtyard.
But Miss Andrew, I'm so fond of flowers.
You are a very silly woman. Where did George go?
He had an urgent appointment.
Which no doubt he was late, as usual. It's not much of a house, is it?
We like it.
It doesn't take a lot to keep you happy. Look at the dust, there and there. Filth.
Well, we're rather short-staffed at the moment.
Hasn't anyone ever cleaned those curtains?
Oh,
Now, just a minute. You must be the children. Pity, I don't suppose you know who I am.
Yes, we do. You're the Holy Terror.
Impudent boy. Why are you not wearing proper stockings?
I don't like them.
Tut! What manners! I see I've not a minute to lose. These children have been spoiled and arrived here just in time. By chance I brought the punishment that best befits the crime. So naturally, hardly avoid liberal doses of these are the treats from which children recoil. The lessons I'm going to teach. Just follow my moral and don't mollycoddle each day. Irksome to earn. So seek satisfaction. You need inaction. Brimstone and treacle will work. Open.
Does it taste as bad as it smells?
Worse. Do I have to? Will I open? Brimstone and treacle and common soap. These are the tools of my trade. Spoonfuls of sugar don't have the hope of seeing that changes are made. When manners are chronic, my tincture's the tonic that's certain to wipe off the smirk. Poured out a ration in matronly fashion. Brimstone and treacle will work. Your son will go to boarding school at once. As for the girl, I shall take charge of her myself. I won't stand for pining or whinging or whimpering cry. I'm truly disappointed. I really am. You know, I thought I'd be in, one of the umbrella.
What are we going to do?
I think the only thing we can do is run away.
Easy now. Your friend ain't gonna hurt you.
Oh, Bert, it's you.
Well, filthy.
Perhaps a smudge or two. Just so happens today I'm a chimney sweep. So what are you up to and who's after you?
The nastiest nanny in the world.
The nastiest nanny in the world, eh? Well, you two should know. You've been through enough of them. Is she really as bad as all that?
She looks like something that would eat its young,
Miss Andrew was Daddy's nanny.
which does explain a lot.
Poor Daddy, ever since he stopped working, he just sits and mopes. Mary Poppins used to say he needed our help, but now it's too late.
Oh, I won't say that. I'll tell you what. How about we start things off with a bit of a shake for good luck?
Why would shaking hands with you bring us luck?
Hasn't anyone ever told you it's lucky to shake a sweep's arm?
Well, what do you do if you want some luck?
Oh, I shake hands with myself. Now, what we got here?
Michael, look! It's a real one! What's the matter? You've always wanted to fly a proper kite.
I've always wanted to fly one with Daddy.
Of course you have. But you gotta get some training in. Learn how it's done and you'll make him the proudest father in the country.
Really? You're not just saying that.
Did I say country? Whole blooming empire more like. With tuppence for paper and strings, you can have your own set of wings. With your feet on the ground, you're a bird. You fly with your fist holding tight to the string of your kite. Let's go flying high up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite, send it soaring up through the atmosphere, up where the air is clear. Oh, let's go fly a kite.
Try again.
Try again. What's this? What's this? There's a lot of glitter here.
It's not glitter, it's a kite.
Oh, kite is it? My word, it is. We've flown a kite since I was a boy. Now wind her up, give her a run, and away she'll go.
I want to do it.
But you'll let me help, won't you? Seeing as I haven't flown a kite since I was a boy.
Oh, all right.
Flying up there, all at once you'll lie on it there. You can dance on the breeze over houses and trees with your fist holding tight to the string of your kite. Let's go flying high, to the highest height. Let's go flying high, send it soaring up through the atmosphere, up where the air is clear. Oh,
have enough time to put them on.
And why not, may I ask?
Well, because we ran away.
Have you indeed?
Oh, Mary Poppins, it's so awful that you went away, and now Miss Andrews come and Daddy's ruined, and we never have the one you want us to. We were too stupid.
But your life's a tragedy. Now let's go home and don't dawdle.
No, because she said she came this morning as a surprise for Daddy.
Did she? Well, maybe I'll be a surprise for her. That was a lovely greeting, Bert.
I met Mary. Welcome. Your sight for sore eyes.
You really are Mary Poppins. Welcome back.
I told you they were good kids, Mary.
And I told you they were worth bothering with.
Aren't you going to shake hands with Bert for luck?
No,
Why not?
I don't need any luck, thank you.
Now see here. Against regulations coming down from the sky like that. Where from? I'd like to know, eh? Where from?
If I were a park keeper, I would straighten my cap and button my coat. Come along, children.
she's killed everyone. Perhaps they're all dead.
Not like that, you stupid boy!
Well, they're not all dead.
What's that noise?
It's a bird. I might have known. Did she? Well, frankly, that's not a surprise. Locked in this cage and not free in the skies. For 2 years, how shameful. Yes, of course, that's a field I know well. And now we're no longer, your wings will grow stronger. Once you are free from this cell.
What kind of bird is it?
A lark. You're seeing a lark in a cage for the first time, and the last. Of course. Don't mention it.
I'm going downstairs to fetch Caruso, my dog. You stay there and clean the grate again. So, you've decided to come crawling back, have you? Well, I think we know what's needed now. Broomstone and tree, my favorite rinse liquor, that will make runaway stop. If you did children, sponsor much quicker, forced to drink every last drop.
Is this what you're looking for?
Who are you?
I'm Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, but you left without notice.
And I've come back without notice.
I see. And what do you expect me to do? Ha! Ha! You insolent young person, how dare you speak to me that way? Little girl with your newfangled methods, I bring up children so they know their place. Studying for tradition, I gathered my charges.
Mishandled charges blow up in your face.
I brought up their father.
Well, that I do doubt. You must be so proud of the way he turned out.
A shining example, a pillar,
A post, they all have their problems, but him more than most.
Caruso! Where's my lock, Caruso? Let my little lock out of his cage.
Now you'll bear the brunt of my rage.
Brimstone and tree for you. Brimstone and tree,
Just a spoonful of sugar.
brimstone and tree,
Just a spoonful of sugar.
brimstone and tree,
Just a spoonful of sugar. Recognize fully that you are a bully who views cruel deeds as a fun. But now here's the catch, because you matter much. Brimstone and tree gone. Brimstone and tree gone.
Mary Poppins, where did you come from? Jane? Michael? Oh, thank heavens. Oh, but you were so naughty to go running off like that, and I should be angry as anything if I weren't so pleased to see you. Oh. Where's Miss Andrew?
She's gone.
Gone? How peculiar. So, Mary Poppins, if you go back, are you going to stay?
I'll stay for as long as necessary, ma'am.
Because last time you were here, you left without a word of warning. How do I know you won't do it again?
You don't.
Excuse me, Mom.
Constable, I'm so sorry to have bothered you, but it's quite all right. They're back.
Not all of them, ma'am. We found this one wandering in the park. Good night, ma'am.
George.
Where is she?
Miss Andrew? She left.
Left. But how?
She may have thought we were rude.
Rude. To Miss Andrews. Well, I can't forget it. But I will try to forget. In fact, I have given you the sixpence of my hat.
George, you haven't noticed Mary Poppins is back.
Is she? Mary Poppins. Well, I was wondering if I might have a word. There's no point in beating about the bush. Things have not gone well for us.
About my wages, sir, if you don't mind, I won't take any just now. I should prefer to let them accrue.
But Mary Poppins, if you only knew how many wages our career as it is.
Is everything settled? It is. Now we must get started. Jane, Michael, Spitspot. Mrs. Brill, is that dinner cooking or are the trains playing up?
Come along, darling. You made a mistake, but how bad is that? After so many good years of good service, what's the worst that can happen?
Winifred, if I am to be dismissed by the bank, we will be destitute. The servants will leave, the house will be repossessed, and we will be sitting outside with the children on a frosty hillside.
We will still have what truly matters. Your children and each other.
There's a room for improvements, a few kids more.
Is that what it is? And if it is, what's inside it? A portrait.
Ooh.
You'll know when the time comes and not before.
Mary Poppins. You are going to see this time, aren't you?
I'll stay till the chain breaks.
What chain? Where?
Be careful, Michael. Everything's a bit excited to see me back, and you never know what might happen.
Michael, come down, Michael!
See you on the rooftops of London.
doing up here?
And where else should a chimney sweep be? A chimney swept, a secret kept, up here above the gables. Another world to be unfurled, it ain't just missing fables. A chimney stack, smoking black against the twilight sky. It never is, there's more down here, perhaps we'll find it.
What do I look like?
So high up, you can see everything.
That's better. And what does that tell you?
That we're small and unimportant.
Speak for yourself.
Not so much that our troubles are so big down in the nursery, but up here.
That's more like it. When you look at your troubles from a little higher up, they're never so bad. And remember, there's plenty of people to help you, should you need them.
Who?
Chimney, 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 no guardian angels you don't often see. They're not highfalutin, no brand new elite. They're covered in soot and they're up on your roof. See? It's true. Brush away your pencils. Brush away your tears. Cobwebs that aren't swept away will hang around for years. We make them talk all hours. They can see for miles. I can hear and then I love the songs. We may look the motley crew, smudged with sorry, smudged with time. When you need a helping hand, try to step in, try to step in just in time. We step in time. We step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. We step in time. Over the rooftop, step in time. Over the rooftop, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Over the rooftop, step inside. Once you step inside. Once you step inside. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. That's your step inside. Keep your knees up, step in time. Keep your knees up, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Keep your knees up, step in time.
Childhood's a step in time, parenthood's the same. Never miss a chance to get it right.
Don't seem a perfect point, don't seem a shame. When the steps aren't going
as smoothly as they might.
that's my step in time. That's my step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. That's my step in time.
You're up a step in time. You're up a step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. You're up a step in time. You're up a step in time. Step in time, step in time.
Your turn.
Someone's up your chimney, and it's Santa Claus.
If you need a
Second tones doesn't make much odds.
we'll be watching over you.
Rushing through precious rooms and
And rods.
over the rooftops step inside. Over the rooftops step inside. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme.
Over the rooftop, step inside.
You're out there step in time. Think you're out there step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Think you're out there step in time. Think you need some step in time. Think you need some step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Think you need some step in time. Oh, step in time. Step, 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 step in time. Step, step, step. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. If you think you need some, think you need some, think you need some, think you need some. Step, 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 step. Never need a reason, step in time.
What you gonna do? Step inside! Yell it louder! Step inside! Down the chimney!
Down the chimney, step inside. Down the chimney, step inside. Down the chimney.
Back to the nursery!
Back to the nursery, step inside. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Back to the nursery, step inside.
What is this? What's all of this?
Special delivery, step inside. Special delivery, step inside.
Special delivery, step inside.
Well, time to go now. Night,
Step inside, I got the step inside. Step inside, I got the step inside.
Good night, Governor.
Not so fast. Upstairs now. Jane, you too. Mary Poppins, would you be kind enough to explain?
First of all, I would like to make one thing clear.
Yes.
I never explain anything. Come along, children.
It's happened. The chairman wishes to see me by the close of business tonight.
Night? Well, I'm coming with you, and I'll jolly well give Lord Chairman a piece of my mind.
That would only make matters worse.
George, are you quite sure?
Quite sure. We better start making plans. In fact, I'm afraid it's time.
Do you mean your mother's vase? Well, won't you miss it terribly?
Needs must, my dear. We always said we were saving it for a rainy day. And tomorrow we'll look fit to pull.
Mrs. Brill, let's go check out Johnny and you just sit down.
Don't you stop! I've opened all the windows!
I was just going to say that it smells delicious.
This whole world has gone upside down!
Well, I never. So that's what I thought. What are they? Stars. Gingerbread stars like my nanny once. I always knew I put them somewhere no one else would find them. They're very bright. They are, even after all this time.
Here, let me give you a hand.
I used to dream that when I grew up, I would learn everything there was to know about the stars. It's funny. I haven't thought about all that in years. I'm not usually sentimental.
It's good to look back sometimes.
Is it? I'm not so sure. A man has dreamed of walking with giants to carve his niche in the edifice of time. Before the mortar of his zeal has the chance to congeal, the cup is dashed from his lips, the flame is snuffed a warning. He's brought to rack and ruin in his prime.
Life's a rum go, Governor. That's the truth.
You know what I think? It's that Poppins woman. From the moment she stepped into this house, things began to happen to me. My world was calm, well ordered, exemplary. Then came this person with chaos in her wake. And now my life's ambitions go in one fell blow. It's quite a bitter pill to take.
Another very person. What's that thing she's always saying? A spoonful of sugar, that is all it takes. It changes bread and butter into tea and cakes. A spoonful of sugar goes a long, long way. So have yourself an helping every day.
A healthy helping of trouble, if you ask me.
Like you say, Governor, you've got to grind at that grindstone. Though childhood slips like sand through a sieve, and all at once they've up and grown, and then they flow. and it's too late for you to give just that spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down. The medicine go down. Medicine go down. Well, night, Governor. Good luck.
Thank you, Buzz. And good luck to you too. What is it?
You came to say goodnight.
Oh, yes. Good night.
Daddy, do you remember when we came to the bank?
Yes?
Well, we were each given a sixpence and told to spend them casually.
Excellent advice. That is exactly what you should do with them. Whatever did you buy with them?
Nothing yet. We've kept them. And now we've decided to give them to you.
I suppose Mary Poppins put you up to this.
No, she hasn't said a word about it. But we know it's been difficult for you lately, and we haven't been much help.
So we thought a bit of extra cash may lighten things up a little.
So hold shilling.
Thank you.
Good night, Daddy. We do love you again.
Jane, do you remember what you once asked me who Needless's father was?
Yes.
It was Poseidon, king of the sea. Good night.
Mommy, Daddy's really worried.
Yes, he is. But you must always remember he loves you very much. And that is far more important than jobs or houses or anything. Going to the bank with him? I wish I could, but he won't let me. If only there was someone to stand up for him, to take his part, to show him what he's truly like inside.
Well, why can't he do that for himself?
He's a man, and a very proud one.
You have to go.
I'd like to, but I'm afraid it's just not possible.
Why not? Because I'm a woman. Mary Poppins says anything is possible if we can only get out of our own way.
Do you really believe that, Mary Poppins?
Anything can happen if you let it. Things you thought impossible will soon seem certain. Changes can be made.
You can move a mountain if you use a larger speed.
Anything can happen, it's official. You can be trusted of
But your mind beyond fantastic. Dreams are made of strong elastic.
It won't take sacrifice and don't forget it. Anything can happen if you let it.
I wonder.
Anything can happen if you let it. That should be my mentality with a badge. No one does it for you. No one wants yourself. Vacillating violins can light up on the shelf. Anything can happen, just imagine. That should be my epitaph. I read the virgin honor of this world's free thinkers. Through sleeping light, their blinkers. Jelly and jelly till you said it. Anything can happen if you let it. If you reach for the stars, will you get to the stars? But we found a home to spare. If you reach for the heavens, you get the stars through it.
See the birds sing, only tuppence flat.
What take it as a great favor if you kindly give them for me?
Come in. Well, you turned down a scheme that was bound to make us millions, and we want to know why.
Then I will tell you. I refused Mr. Van Hustler because the scheme was hollow. It had no product, it had no substance, it had no meaning outside the walls of a bank. Oh yes, it was only about the assets and the profits and the growth, but there was never a word about people. I know that if a man puts any value on real life, then as far as you are concerned, he is a washout. In short, George Banks Esquire has rediscovered the human race. I apologize for ruining the bank, but I do not apologize for understanding that there are more important things than making money.
Ruining the bank. Ruining the bank. My dear chap, what are you talking about? You've saved our bacon. Haven't you heard? Van Hustler's scheme has ruined our rival. You've kept us out of the nastiest scandal since records began. We don't want your apologies, we're offering ours.
Oh my word.
And do you remember giving a loan to a fellow named Northbrook? Well, he's repaying it and opening 2 new factories. With the percentage you negotiated, we're set to make a fortune.
Oh my word.
Well, that's just it. We very much hope you might tell us how you did it. Give us the word. It'd be safe with us.
Give you the word. Give you the word. I'll give you the word, all right. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. You know the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always self-conscious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Now, Banks, don't make me
Forgive him, it's not his fault. It's all because of his nanny, Miss Andrew.
Holy terror! She taught me everything I know.
Then now is your chance to forget it.
That's right, and if you want to fight, then you come to the right woman.
It's all right, darling, it's all right. I haven't lost money at all. In fact, I've made the bank a fortune.
Really?
Gentlemen, now, madam, we still have business to conduct. Well, George, Banks, by way of recompense, we'd like to offer you a new job as senior manager with a salary at double the...
Excuse me. Exactly how much has he made you?
Triple your... Quadruple your present rate.
Close your mouth, George. We're not called fish.
I accept. But from now on, you must understand one thing. My family comes first.
Agreed. Agreed.
I'm afraid I've underestimated you. How can you ever forgive me?
How can you ask?
It was selfish of me to keep you on the stage. If you want to go back, and I will not mind if you do.
No, I loved it, but I found a role I much rather prefer, and it will keep you busy for quite a long time. Anything can happen, raise the curtain. Things you thought impossible will soon seem certain. Though at first it may sound clownish, see the world more upside downish. Turn it on its head, then pirouette it.
Anything can happen if you let it.
If you reach for the stars, all you get are the stars. But we found a whole new spin. If you reach for the heavens, you get the stars thrown
They're the stars. I put the constellations too.
Do you indeed? I wonder you don't ask for the moon as well.
If you reach for the stars, all you get are the stars. But we found a whole new spin. If you reach for the heavens, you get the stars thrown in. Anything can happen if you let it. Life is out there waiting, so go and get it. Grab and find the color, seize and find the scrub. Once you started living life, you just can't get enough. Anything can happen, it's official. You can chase the super or the silverfish, sailing for no endless spirit. Obstacles start disappearing. Don't chase your dreams, you want to be better. Anything can happen, anything can happen. Anything can happen if you
Poppins. That was the best yet. Up in the heavens. Do you think we'll ever go back there?
Yes, someday.
Really? Will it be soon?
Oh no, not for a very long time. But you can always keep your eye on the stars until you return.
But this is your telescope.
So it is. You can keep it if you like. It's a present.
Thank you.
Now run along in. It's getting cold.
Mary Poppins, I do love you.
You're a very fine boy, Michael Banks. And one day you'll be a very fine man.
Makes me so anxious when you talk like that.
Like what?
All kind and gentle. Be cross, Mary Poppins, to be cross again.
Is that the thanks I get for the trouble I've taken?
That's better.
That's a lovely painting. Oh, Bert, is this yours?
Of course it is. I made it. For you. They're yours.
Thank you, Bert.
Is it tonight?
Yes, Bert.
Well, bye then, Mary.
Goodbye, Bert. Look after yourself. With every job when it's complete, there is a sense of bittersweet. That moment when you know the task is done. Though in your heart you'd like to stay, to help things on their way, you've always known they must do it alone. There, practically perfect, and I hope it remains so.
What's happening? Something's changed.
Look, it's Mary Poppins' locket.
There's a note too.
Look, the chain's broken.
Don't you remember? I'll stay till the chain breaks. What does the note say?
Michael has a telescope, so this is for you.
Look, she signed it too. Mary Poppins, with a great deal of love. Keep playing the game.
Mary Poppins? She's gone. How strange.
She'll be back. Now, what do you think of this?
It's the best I've ever seen.
Could we fly together?
Oh, Daddy.
Mary Poppins will never do Helen die. My dear, how could you possibly know such a thing? Because we don't need her. Not anymore. And other families will, won't they, Daddy?
They will.
I wonder if she's right, George. We really could do without Nanny from now on. What do you think?
I think you'd better come and dance with me.
George, I'm serious.
Stop. That's right. Where are my children? My dearest thing.
We're going to forget you, Mary Poppins.
We'll never forget.
Super